Hey, Team Tolerator, we are still on our summer break from new episodes of To All the Men I've Tolerated Before. So this week, I will be giving you one of our still comfy movie reviews with Julia Washington from Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous and Jelly Pop's Book Club. Still Comfy is where Julia and I were live once a week giving movie reviews about our favorite comfort movies from now, our youth, our teenage years, just whenever we felt comforted by a movie and then we felt like we should revisit it to make sure we could still feel comfortable about it. Enjoy this audio version of Still Comfy. If you would like to see the video version, I have linked the YouTube playlist for our Still Comfy videos in the show notes, and there is also our Patreon page linked in the show notes. Patreon members are getting new content throughout the summer, whether it be on our free tier or any of our paid tiers, whether it be Team Tolerator check-ins, misogyny meltdown episodes, blog posts, or early access to episodes you might hear this fall that will be ad-free. Make sure to check out any of our Patreon tiers. They are all offering free trials. Have a great summer. I will see you this fall with all new episodes of To All the Men I've Tolerated Before.
Already live on TikTok.
Oh,
Here we go.
Here we go.
We are back after a summer hiatus. Welcome to Still Comfy Tuesday with Julia and Natalie. We have missed you all.
Yeah. And we've missed movies. We've missed the weather being below 90 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, friends. I'm Julia Washington, your host of Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous, where we analyze pop culture through the lens of race or gender, and sometimes both. As I said, it's Still Comfy Tuesday, and my co-host is...
I'm Natalie Katona. I'm the host and producer of To All the Men I've Tolerated Before, your weekly look at everyday misogyny. And watch, everyone, I can be in the chat.
I'm so excited. And we are talking about Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
It is a 2003 gem, and let me tell you about this movie from the Googles. Single mother Tess Coleman and her teenage daughter Anna couldn't be more different, and it is driving them both insane. After receiving cryptic fortunes at a Chinese restaurant, the two wake up the next day to discover that they have somehow switched bodies. Unable to switch back, they are forced to masquerade as one another until a solution can be found. In the process, they develop a new sense of respect and understanding for one another. Who needs AI when you could hire me?
Well, honestly, did you rewrite that? Because usually we just rip it straight from Google.
No, that's from Google, and I did it in my best AI voice.
Oh, you did it in your AI voice.
Yes.
You forgot to do the weird hands. You got to and then you have to go, and then you have to end every sentence with gang gang. I don't know why. The gang gang is very important. It's very important to the AI pretending.
Oh my God. Okay, Natalie, I do have one question for you to kick off this movie. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Or rather, this chat.
Okay.
Why do we love this movie?
I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Fuck yeah, me too.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and I want to spend every day with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I want her to be telling everyone to fuck off on my behalf. And she, like a fine wine, she just gets better and better as she gets older. And like when I was a kid, Jamie Lee Curtis was like the yogurt lady, the lady who's like, eat yogurt, it'll make you poop.
And I remember too when she did that campaign where she was like no touch-ups, and she was essentially in like bike shorts and like a sports bra, and I was just like, girl, you look good.
And like my grandma Peg, when she started to go gray, she was like, I'm just gonna do it. And my grandma Peg started going gray when she was like 27 years old.
Holy buckets, that's so
Yeah.
young.
hmm So Jamie Lee Curtis always reminds me of my grandma. One of the Halloween movies, it wasn't this last one, it was the one before, when the house is on fire. And I was like, this whole movie should just be the house on fire, but also Michael Myers is there. And you're trying to escape the fire, but also Michael Myers. And that's not what the movie was. But my sister says that Jamie Lee Curtis acts just like Grandma Peg because she's just sitting there like in a smoky, raspy voice being like, we'll never escape Michael the bastard. She's like, it was
Oh,
giving real Peg energy.
that's so interesting because like I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the Halloween movies. As you know, I
Weird.
don't do scary.
It was weird.
But I did know of Jamie Lee Curtis before I saw any of her work because we are an old movies family. And so I saw Some Like It Hot. And I knew
Yes.
that Tony Curtis was her dad. And like, I just like, so I knew about her Hollywood royalty status before I ever had seen her in a movie.
And let me tell you another reason why I love this movie. I like seeing Lindsay Lohan well. I just like
you know, she's such a gem and she's so talented. And I think that I always wonder what would have been if she had had parents who weren't trying to live their dreams through their child, what her adult life could have looked like.
right. Thanks, Dina. Thanks, Dina Lohan.
Yeah.
I am truly ready for the Lindsay Lohan Sans, where because she did that Netflix Christmas movie.
The Christmas movie. But I don't know if we're going to get a true renaissance from her because she is married to someone who has a very, not the way that Americans view conservative lifestyle, modest.
Oh, a modest lifestyle.
So I think that's going to pose limitations on not that I'm saying that you have to be risque when you are an actor. When there's religion modesty involved, it does sort of change the nature of what your work is.
I'd be fine with just a Christmas movie every year. I found that Christmas movie delightful.
Yeah, it was cute. What's that kid's name?
Cord Overstreet.
That's it. I was like, it's something musical.
From Glee.
From Glee. That's right.
From Glee.
I find that this movie is incredibly delightful, regardless of what age you are.
Yeah. No. Do you feel like this movie, this was the first question I wrote down for you. Do you feel like that first scene where Jamie Lee Curtis is juggling, trying to plan her rehearsal dinner, like arguing with the man about fish, shopping for her kids, also like...
I'm going to itch on my head. I'm sorry. It's so embarrassing. I should have like closed the camera.
Just like, trying to like figure out whether or not Lindsay Lohan's coming home that night. Do you feel like this is one of the more realistic, like actual portraits of single motherhood that we have?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like she has her shit together to an extent. Like her hot messness isn't because of anything that, what am I trying to say? I feel like when I was a professional business woman, this was very relatable.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I am a little annoyed that like why isn't your fiance helping more?
Right.
But also it's not a movie about him.
Well, and like the surprise twist ending where it's like, he's a great guy. I'm like, great. Good for him. Good for him being a great guy. I think it falls short on how I think when it comes to teenage Lindsay Lohan, it's so satire and upped and ante that I'm like, girl, no one shrieks that much. No one has the time to shriek that much during their high school day.
It's very Disney-fied. Yeah. Like it is very punched up for Disney. That's for sure. Absolutely.
And then I couldn't remember, was this a movie theater movie or a straight to Disney movie?
Movie theater movie.
Movie theater movie. It reads kind of now like a straight to the Disney Channel movie.
Well, and I think that this is when Disney is starting to sort of change how they navigate what goes in the theater and what goes to Disney Channel. Because yeah, they had Disney Channel content, but they were really starting to focus in and hone in on like that tween age.
Mm.
Because also Cheetah Girls came out around this time, but that was a
Cheetah
straight
girls,
to it
cheetah-licious.
might have been Cheetah Girls might have been a little bit later, but like that's this era, right?
Hmm.
Like it's like we are starting to get well, maybe because Cheetah Girls might have been later. Because I'm thinking High School Musical, but that was like 2007.
Yeah, I
But
was too.
it's all within that generation though.
Yeah, I was too old to like High School Musical by the time it
Yeah.
came out because I
Yeah,
was in
same.
college and I was like, I
Yeah.
don't care that Zac Efron really wants to play basketball.
No, but I do appreciate the evolution of his career, so I
I
can watch his movies now.
started from the bottom, now we're here.
hmm Yeah. And so like I feel like this is definitely a movie that is intended to be silly and fun. And so in what I don't know if you knew this, but our friend Chris DeRosa came on to Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous to talk about this film. And he commented on just how wonderful it is in so many ways. And one of the reviews I had found when I was prepping for that chat, I forget who the reviewer was. It might have been the New York Times, essentially said, it is a shame that Jamie Lee Curtis will not be considered for like as an Oscar contender because her performance in this movie is flawless and perfect and so varied with its range. And when you watch it, you're like, yeah, because
Yeah.
she's got so much going on. It's so believable. And just the way she could go from buttoned up stuffy mom who's trying real hard to be like the best version of everything with her book, and she's a psychologist, right?
Hmm.
And so like there's a certain level of I have to have my shit together for that, and then to flip to behave like a teenager in the way that it really takes acting chops to do something like that so believably.
Well, and we already got a taste of this from The Parent Trap with Miss
Right, with
Lohan,
Lindsay.
but
Hmm.
she's also a code switcher. She can like immediately be like, oh, now my character is doing this. Oh, now I'm an uptight mom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I felt like their physicality ever
Yeah.
since Orphan is the New Black. No, Orphan Black.
There you go.
I do it all the time. How dare those shows come out in the same year? How dare? Ever since Orphan Black, I'm obsessed with the way that characters who are either playing multiple roles within the same film or
Mhm.
are like made to act like they're someone else or whatever will change their body position and their body structure and their facial expressions on a dime because
Yeah.
Tatiana Maslany was perfect at that throughout the entire show. And she was often
Yeah.
playing like 15 people an episode.
Yeah, and I think it really does speak to the difference between people who are into that craft of acting versus people who just want to be in movies or who
Right.
just want to be famous. And I think that Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan were the perfect pairing to play the mother and daughter duo because in 2003, when I think about the teenaged actors at the time, I don't think anybody else could have done it. And when I think about the mom aged actors that existed at the time, I honestly don't think anybody else could have done it. Like Goldie Hawn's a great actress. I don't think she could have pulled this off.
No, and Goldie Hawn has a different type of physical comedy than
Mhm.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, and then I was thinking about okay, then I fell down the First Wives Club, right? I was like, oh, and then Diane Keaton. It's like no, because there would need to be like a moment where she screams real loud and has a moment of panic and then falls down, and that just doesn't work for this movie either,
Right.
because that would then compete with the teenager storyline.
Correct. Yeah. And I do think that the most interesting part of this movie is besides the little boy, the
Hmm.
grandpa, and the soon to be stepdad, every other man in this movie is like such an incel weirdo.
I'm glad you brought it up because I have another question for you. Are
Oh,
you
go
ready?
for it. Yeah. Oh, that's right. One of my first note for today's episode is I forgot Chad Michael Murray was in this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like his hair in this
Well,
movie better
it's
than Lucas's hair.
it's
What are we
2003,
doing?
so everyone had bad hair.
It, and I feel like it's it's just Lucas Scott if Lucas Scott could play guitar. You know?
Dead.
It's Lucas Scott doing I wanna push you around.
Oh my
Jamie
gosh.
Lee, Jamie Lee.
Oh, I forgot to remind everybody, we don't know that you're here because we're using a third-party streaming source to get to YouTube. So in order for us to know that you're here, drop a comment, join in on our conversation, answer our questions that we're putting up here. Let us know you're here, even if you're watching the replay, because we still get notified that you commented and then we can respond back.
And I'm always online and I will respond back. Even if it's just with the fearless heart.
Yes.
This is my emoji of the year. Just
Love.
the fearless heart.
Yes. Okay, back to Chad Michael Murray and playing Lucas Scott in every film. Do we need to go down the rabbit hole of his movie catalog with Hallmark to see if he continues to be Lucas Scott even well into his adulthood?
Do you remember it was last Christmas? I was in a dark place and I was like, I want to watch a Chad Michael Murray Christmas movie. And they're all on Hallmark. I don't have Hallmark because I don't have money. And I found one that I could like watch on Prime or Hulu or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when I tell you he was playing an angel. And I guess he
What?
plays this angel in a couple of these movies. And he was like, when like people of the church are trying to be like very calm and not startle you that they are of the church. So it was like, why, yes, I would love some hot cocoa. And then like in the arms of an angel,
God.
because he's just trying to be like holier and like withdrawn from general society. I think we should go back to playing angels like John Travolta did in Michael.
Oh my God, that's a callback. I haven't seen that movie since it released in the movie theater.
Honestly, put it on the list. We need to do John Travolta and Michael. A movie that I was probably watching way too young.
Well, yeah, because it came out when I was 13. So I was to say we should do a whole series of just movie, because then there's City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, we're gonna go real churchy and just do angel movies.
I don't know. Should we? I don't know. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about Chad Michael Murray falling in love with Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's weird. And that is like, truly, I've been thinking about this all day. How do you modernize this movie without having a teenage girl having to pretend to love her future stepdad in a sexual way and a teenage boy like
especially when you
flirting
think about
with a grown woman.
Especially when you think about how much better millennials aged than boomers. Because
Yes.
like, have you seen modern day Chad Michael Murray? I know you have. That man is fine. Could you imagine him playing the future stepdad and then like, I don't know what, Sydney Sweeney playing the teenaged girl? Like, or even like Kate Hudson's 43.
Yeah.
So she could be the Jamie Lee Curtis stepmom, right?
Now,
I mean, I don't know if she has the acting capabilities to do it, but like when I think about just on appearance alone, if they remade this movie, everyone would just look like
all the same.
That like the teen, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, and then everyone's hot in Hollywood now. Whereas, you know, you know what I mean? But
now, all I can think about is a Euphoria version of Freaky Friday where it's gritty. Zendaya's screaming about drugs
in the middle of the street.
Sydney Sweeten or whatever her name is fucked her stepdad and she has no fucks to give about it. Like,
yeah. Gritty reboot of Freaky Friday. Because the original was Jodie Foster.
Oh, Jodie
from
Foster,
1976 or 1977, somewhere around there.
I am always floored by how old Jodie Foster is.
I know. And when I watched the original not that long ago, and it was like everyone looks exactly how you think they would look in 1976, right? Like dad's kind of aged but still working and kind of dopey. Like the woman who plays the mom is so beautiful. And you're
Hmm.
just looking at this couple and you're just like, how? She's gorgeous and you're there.
I need Phil Dunphy to be in the reboot of Freaky Friday. That's the only dad that no one's hitting on.
Yeah. 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 You know what? You would have to source people who are over 50 to play this, if not more so, because even then, and I told you this today, I was listening to Pod Meets World and the Mark Paul Gosselaar episode. And, in my mind, he's fine. And I think he's close to, he'll be 50 next year.
Yeah.
And he looks so good.
Yeah. It's because he too has been touched by an angel. He real churchy now. A lot of those 80s sitcom dudes got real churchy. Who's the Growing Pains guy?
Well, that one was always churchy.
Oh.
You're talking about Candace Cameron's brother, Kirk Cameron. The
Oh, yeah,
Camerons were
Kirk
always
Cameron.
churchy.
The Camerons.
The Camerons were
Church
always
Hollywood
churchy.
royalty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so ridiculous to try and think about this movie in modern day, because I don't actually like, and I think it's because Jamie Lee Curtis is doing it so well. And Chad Michael Murray, it is a fun role to see Chad Michael Murray in, because he's very often not silly, and he was like silly sappy in this
right.
one.
And this came out in August of 2003. And then when did One Tree Hill debut?
Oh, I feel like we've looked up the states so many times.
I know. Which, I mean, and it just says the WB 2003 to 2006 when on the Google. But I'm gonna go into episodes. But it's like one of those things where it's like Chad Michael Murray is clearly like poised to be an up and coming star, because you have this movie. Yeah, September of 2003. So Freaky Friday came first. And this is just, you can just see like, and he did so many movies, right? He did A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff in 2005. Like, he was just gonna be that guy.
He's going to be that guy. And then I think the One Tree Hill men ruined it for everybody. Like, they tried to do Hillary and Sophia's career. Hey.
I think so. I really do, because when you think about like the progression of the One Tree Hill cast, it's like no one's a major Hollywood film star.
No. Bethany's coming out with an album soon, and I can't wait to listen. It's about strawberries or something.
Oh, that's cute.
Strawberries in the title.
But versus like Saved by the Bell's at the top of my mind again, because again, I listened to the Mark Paul Gosselaar interview. But like Mario Lopez, he's not a film star, but he's very prominent and in everyone's face.
Yeah, he is everywhere. I did have to like turn away from the movie and like look at my phone or something, because I'm like, I don't want to watch Chad Michael Murray flirt with Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know why I got prudy during it. I was like, and I do think it's because Jamie Lee Curtis at any age can drop her face and make herself look like a teenager in love. And I'm like, it's icky and I don't want to watch it.
Did you watch her in The Bear season 2?
No, I haven't watched The Bear, because every time I turn on The Bear, my ADHD says no. My ADHD is like, we're not paying attention to this.
It is the season 2 is very slow paced.
And I haven't watched season 1, and you told me I have to listen to that show. And what have I been doing every time I'm parked in front of the TV? I'm playing Stardew Valley. That's all I'm doing all day long.
I loved it. I loved it so hard. I just wanted to put that.
Oh, look, it's me. I was like, why did my comment get highlighted? Everyone, that's an example of how you can comment on the live. Jules will probably log off at some point and comment on that. Maybe it'll be the Fearless Heart. But should you stumble upon our show on the good old YouTube, give us a YouTube comment.
Give us a YouTube comment. Tell us why you love Freaky Friday. So let's talk about this concept of a reboot. Like, do you think that Disney would attempt a third version?
Try at it?
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I think we're slowly distancing ourselves from, and there's not actually that clear-cut line in between a middle-aged mother and her hormone rampant teenager. I feel
Mhm.
like in a lot of film and TV, we're not getting that there's just a 15-year-old in my house shrieking at me all the time. And to be fair, that was not my teenage experience. My
Right.
mom and I would have like one blow up a month. I would lock myself in my room. And then I told you she just scratched on my door to be
Mhm.
like, what if we ate Ben and Jerry's and watched Lost? By the way, I heard Lost was a toxic work environment.
Yeah. You know what's interesting though is similarly to you, I also didn't have like a shrieking relationship with my mom. We would have one blow up and
Hmm.
then go for froyo or watch a movie. But what's interesting to me about the Lindsay Lohan character in this movie is how she is so alternative,
Yeah,
but
she's punk rock.
she's so punk rock, but yet there is something about her that really isn't punk rock.
Well, it's very much it's a Disney punk rock, so it's camp rock, punk rock.
Right, right.
So I feel like Demi Lovato wears the same costume.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
um also I don't think until probably now, because I am not a rewatcher, so who knows when's the last time I watched this film was. Clearly the punk rock stuff is just a coping mechanism for her dad being dead. Like, she's really just
Oh,
mad at her mom because her dad died.
that's interesting. As a reformed, in appearance, punk rock girl, because I will always love you punk rock.
Mhm.
Though there are some bands now that I'm just like, "Oh, my ears are old, I can't." But there are a handful of bands, like, I'm gonna go see one later this year, and I'm really fucking excited, um, that I still will listen to on repeat when I'm in the mood. But, like, there is something about the way, and maybe that's it because she's using it as a mechanism, so she's gonna just grow out of it,
Right,
as
because
opposed to those of us who I don't live a punk rock lifestyle anymore because I really like showering and having, you know.
what are you trying to make punk rock people feel like today when you're like, "I really like showering"? We're not even allowed to call out nerds anymore at Gen Con for not showering, and they camp in lines to buy Disney cards.
Okay, I
So,
stand corrected. I'm specifically referring to gutter punks. I went to a
okay.
funeral a year ago and I was shocked by how many of my punk rock friends were still in the punk rock way of life.
Mhm.
Because then there was like me and the person I went with and one other person, and we looked like professional adults at a funeral. So I just said that on live.
Um, what was I gonna say, though?
I don't
Oh,
know. Save me, Natalie.
so I think there were a lot of callbacks to, I guess, her former life. I just thought that her mom was up that pretty girl's ass because, like, their moms were friends or something. But then I realized, like, no, Lindsay Lohan and this girl used to be friends. Then her
Hmm.
dad died. Teenagers do not have the emotional intelligence to deal with a death. I barely know what to do when my friend's parents die. I just sit here
Hmm.
and go, "Do you need to scream? You want to cry? You want to just go get
Yeah.
sushi?"
Yeah.
Um, Death is not something that we handle well over here in the
Mhm.
States. And so then I was like, oh, Lindsay Lohan saw this mean bitch and she's like, I don't want to be this mean bitch's friend anymore. And she got hooked up with these two alternative kids, and honestly, the rock band was good.
It was impressively good. And
That lead
I,
singer deserves a career.
yeah,
Where's she at?
I don't know. And I meant to look it up to see if she was a ringer because remember how Disney used to just like poach music, like real
Hmm.
talent, and then just plug them into their stuff? And I was
Yeah.
like, did they do that with this person? Because I feel like that could be true.
No, well, and Disney also, like, did Lindsay Lohan want to be a song or a singer? Who knows? But she has a single at the end of this movie, and
Well,
she has a
she had
single for Confessions of a Drama Queen.
didn't she have an album? I
Yes,
thought she
but
has
they
like an
all
actual.
get albums. Like, that's my
True.
point. Do they want an album, or did Disney just
Was
go,
that just part of it?
it's Disney boot camp. You will be good at everything.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
have to stunt cast you as Cinderella when we revise Cinderella on Broadway for the 80th time. Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why she doesn't feel like true to the punk rock experience in way, because because of her former life. Because back to your point of the shrieking, none of us did that. And
none of us did that.
my group was, a pretty healthy mix of boys and girls, and none of us girls shrieked at our moms. Like, we're not woo girls, we're not shriekers. We get excited and it's very contained.
Yeah. Hit us up in the comments if you shrieked at your mom a lot. Like an everyday, no one understands me. I hate my mom. She tried to get me to eat Frosted Flakes. I want Lucky Charms, kind of bitchy teenage way. Where are
Yeah.
all of these bitchy teenagers? I would like to know. I wasn't hanging out with them. That sounds stressful.
Yeah, same. And I think that's why I like Peyton, and why I was so upset with the way that they sort of changed her in season
Mm-hmm.
4, because in seasons 1, 2, and 3, it felt very much like, yeah, this is the girl I'm running into at the scene that that I like, that
Yeah.
we're going to vibe, and we're going to become friends, and we're going to exchange records, and we're going to talk about music, and we're going to have our moody, kind of in a subdued, quiet way. And then
Almost.
it's going to come out through our art, as opposed to yelling at my mom.
Now, I would modernize this movie and like kind of combine Freaky Friday with a little bit of the Boehner sisters, where it's like
God, I haven't seen
Lindsay
that movie in forever.
Lindsay Lohan is like kind of a punk rock chick, and she thinks that her mom's just like a stuck-up prick. And then she starts to uncover, because they do the switcheroo, all of the
Mhm.
talents her mom set aside in order to be a single mom.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think the movie does fall short on actually making it so they switch back, because now they have common ground. Like,
Mm.
Jamie Lee Curtis plays the guitar and Lindsay Lohan is like, sure, marry my mom. And then they switch back. But I really think that the story could have done so much more in the realm of actually learning about one another, instead of
Mhm.
leaning into these like really comedic slapstick, like, well, I have to play therapist on Good Morning America now, and
Yeah.
I am going to take this high school test and really struggle at it and all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like if you take Freaky Friday, yes, give it a little grit, but then also make it a mini series so we can do some serious character development.
Yeah. Like a
Like a
four,
limited a limited series, and it doesn't need a second season. That doesn't need to happen. It's just a quick however many episodes.
take out the ancient Chinese magic.
Yeah, Chris and I talked about how like that just felt a little icky, because it's like, what? Because especially in the original, that's not part of the original at all.
No, isn't it like a thunderstorm or something? Or do they just wake up? They hated each other so much they switched bodies.
They thought about it at the same time,
Oh,
and like some magic happened, and then it was they woke up the
let
next
me
day.
let me tell
Switcheroo.
you about the 70s and the 80s. They were wild about body swap movies.
Yeah, they loved body swap
Do you
movies.
do you remember that really creepy movie where Robert Downey Jr. is dead, but he swaps into his daughter's boyfriend's body, and then
What
and
movie
then
are
he
you
fucks
talking
the mom.
about?
I don't, it's a movie. It's a movie. It has a very young Robert Downey Jr. in it,
And it was
and
in the 80s?
yeah, the dad
This is
dies. The dad dies, and Robert
mhm.
Downey Jr. is so young he can play like a college teen, and and the
Are you talking
dad,
about Johnny Be Good?
maybe
No.
no, and the because I've seen Johnny
No,
Be Good too.
that's not.
I've seen
I would
all the fucked up
yeah.
movies, all the
Yeah.
fucked up movies where grown up is kind of fucking a teenager, but it's fine because it's the ghost of her dead husband. That was a movie on TV, and I watched it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking at his his IMDb now, because I'm like, I need to know. This is so weird.
maybe we need to, like, we can do Still Comfy, but like once a month we should be like movies that we didn't really think existed, and we thought we made up.
Movies that we're confident are real,
Right.
but
Movies that people tell me are fake, but I know I've seen them. Like the
but I
polar bear
know it.
cane.
Oh my gosh.
No one's seen the polar bear cane, just me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just me. But yeah, just like I don't know if it was because I was distracted, because I was accomplishing a lot today or whatever, but I had a hard time leaning into the humor of it. Maybe it
Oh,
was my summertime
really?
sadness. Yeah, I just like I don't know if I just needed a little bit more of them actually like discovering things about one another to where I was having to pay attention. Cuz as we know, I can like take or leave some things and then I've stopped paying attention because I'm like, "Oh, this is an easy joke. I've stopped paying attention."
Sure. But
Yeah.
that's Disney.
I know it's Disney. No. And as I turned on the movie, I realized that I was more of a Amanda Bynes teen movie watcher and
Yeah.
not so much of a Lindsay Lohan.
Okay. I do understand because if you wanted to cover every single movie that Amanda Bynes did, I'm in. Because I've seen them
Listen,
all 100,000 times.
Amanda Bynes,
And What a Girl Wants is probably my favorite one.
one of what Girl Wants is absolutely the best one. What would be the other best one? She's the Man.
She's the Man is fun. I don't know if it holds up, but She's the Man.
Oh,
Um, there, there was, let's see,
Sydney White.
Sydney White. I don't know. I don't know about Sydney White.
I also was Amanda Bynes in that What I Like About You show with Jenny Garth.
Yes.
I loved that show. That was such a good fucking show.
You know, What a Girl Wants came out in 2003 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love the Amanda show.
the Amanda Show is good.
I what movie
And that,
did Robert Downey Jr. star in where he body swaps? That's like that
I
literally
put
could be
I
an Iron Man movie. You had to put and then he fucks his wife in a teenager's body. That's what you have to put so people
he
understand.
doesn't body swap in Iron Man.
That could be any of the Avengers movies. Those Avenger movies get wild.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like YouTube punishes you for cussing and stuff. And I
Probably.
actually think I have it set up on my channel that like extreme cussing is blocked, if
Oh,
I remember correctly.
well, I think what does Critical Role try to tell me every Thursday when one of them cusses during the ads? I think you have to get through the first minute or like the first 3 minutes. Like
And
there's
then
a
you can get
timeline to
away.
where
There's
they
like a
won't
time
flag
limit.
you anymore.
Got it. Okay. Good to know.
Critical
We're
Role, if you
30.
could weigh in.
Yeah, we're desperate to know because we're 36 minutes into this live broadcast. I do kind of want to go back to what you were talking about, though, about the depths or the lack of the depth of the relationship building and understanding
Sure, maybe
between the
my
two.
yeah,
Because how I don't have a daughter. I was a daughter. I am a daughter.
I am a
And
daughter. I am a daughter.
yeah. And I always wonder because for me it was really easy to build a relationship with my son, and it's been really easy to maintain that relationship with my son. We did not go through he had maybe a 2 months out of his entire existence where it was like that stereotypical, you know what you're talking about, mom's door slam, I hate you kind of shit, but it didn't last long. And I know that some people experience that regularly
Well,
with their children, and I don't know why.
well, and as you know, I am
I have
childless.
theories, but but I'm not talking about them on the live.
I'm child free.
Mhm.
But I was a daughter and I am a
Yeah.
daughter. I think my mom was the blocker of all that bullshit. Like, I think my other parental unit would try to be wild and be like, your
Mhm.
curfew is 7:30. I can't believe you gave her the keys to the car, all of that. And my mom would just be like, calm down.
Yeah.
because my mom was a hot girl. She loved to do hot girl shit. So
Yeah.
all she wanted in life was for me to be a fellow hot girl. And I was hideous in high school. And therefore, she was just like, if someone invited Natalie out, you just let her fucking go. Just let her go.
Let her have
You
a
just
good
have to let her
time.
go.
Mhm.
Let her have friends. My God, we didn't think she could do it, but she did.
Aw, and now
Now
you
my
have
whole
all the
career
friends.
is making friends.
Yeah.
But I am very fascinated because, I mean, maybe my friends were yelling at their moms when I wasn't there, but like literally, like I knew every one of my friends' moms and we never shrieked at them. We would
Yeah,
prank them.
same. Yeah. It's just
We
so
would prank
interesting.
them. Like
Mhm. Go ahead, sorry.
one time my friend's mom, she bought a fur coat because every once in a while you just need to treat yourself. We lived in
Mhm.
Northwest Indiana. We were like, where are you wearing that fur coat to? Where are you going? The Jewel? Like the grocery store? Where the decadence? And she would leave and she'd look us both in the eye and she'd be like, you two, do not fuck with my fur. And now I can't hear Brass Monkey, that funky monkey, without picturing my best friend and I in her mother's furs dancing to Brass Monkey. And she came home and she found us like that. And she cussed us and we
Yeah.
laughed. She still took us to Wicked later that year. So I don't know. Like every day is a winding road with your moms. But
Yeah, and it's almost like, and we've had this conversation before in the past in other arenas, it's almost like moms sometimes forget that their children are their own person.
mhm,
And so, like, sometimes the way one parents, it's based in the expectation that they will turn out the way that you tell them to turn out, rather than you listening to what your children are telling you about themselves.
mhm.
And this is, I feel like, a situation where Jamie Lee Curtis's character is like, this is the way you're supposed to be. Why are you not this way? And then Lindsay Lohan's is like, I'm so mad that you don't see me for me, which is every teen
Well,
angsty setup. But like, to your point, it's a very Disney wrap up for them to come to an understanding. So Lindsay Lohan plays the guitar off stage, and then now Jamie Lee Curtis understands how talented she is when the girl has been practicing in the garage for how many months,
yeah.
and she could clearly hear it.
And also like I'm not saying that my mom and dad were the most emotionally intelligent people. God knows I'm never going to make that assumption. But like should I have found myself shrieking um because I used to be an unmedicated person in a home. Like
Mhm.
my mom and my aunt, my favorite aunt, they're very much people like, why aren't you more chill? Like why can't you just chill out? Which again, I love telling people who are in the middle of an episode, like, have you ever tried breathing? Like, just calm
Right.
down. But like, so again, also my mom was pretty successful at actually making me involved in her interests. We were both big readers. My
Yeah.
mom loves color theory. We love to decorate. We love to craft. My dad loves Dungeons and Dragons. Like my parents did a pretty good job just assimilating me into their interests.
You know what? Mine too, because both of my parents big time readers.
Hmm.
My mom was very artsy
My
and
mom loves
theatrical.
music.
My dad loved, I mean, they both love movies, but family film night is 100% from my dad.
Yeah.
Music is 100% like pop music, pop culture music is 100% from my dad.
So what we're
Classical
saying
music is 100% from my mom.
so what we're saying is Tess in the movie should have been more interesting. She should have had more hobbies. Which I think is it's a bigger message because like
Yeah.
Tess woke up one day a widow and she had
Yeah.
these two kids, one of which was shrieking all the time. And she had to hold down a job. She had to write a book. She had to find
Yeah.
some man.
I
Um,
also think it is a testament too on, building a relationship with your children for you, because it
mhm.
was clear that the primary relationship was daddy daughter.
Yes.
And I don't think that's healthy either, because what happens when one of you dies?
Well, yeah, everyone should like their
Freaky
kids.
Friday.
Right. Freaky Friday. Oh, you done dead? Body swapping.
Body
Uh,
swapping. Everyone should like their kids. I'm
Everyone should
always
like their
very
kids.
disappointed when
But,
people don't like their
let's put it
kids.
in the comments. Everyone
We're gonna
like your
both put it in.
kids.
Everyone, please like your children.
Everyone on TikTok, like your kids. Like your kids. Like, even when you don't like your kids, find one reason to tell them you like them today. Even if you're looking at them and you're like, I fucking would love to squish this child's head in. By bedtime, be like, I really like that we both like the ocean. All right, I did it.
Yeah, because it never made any sense to me when people are just so flabbergasted by their children. I'm like, but they lived in your house for 20 years. Like,
Their children just being people with interests.
Like, how do you not know your, like, what?
It's like how my dad just throws his hands up in the air every time I talk about my show or like this show, or like he watched me at Gen Con network with a bunch of people and like make friends with people. And he's like, I just don't even know what you do with your day all day. And I'm like, I watch Disney Plus. I watch Freaky Friday and I take notes on my phone. That's what I do with my day.
Yeah.
And I meditate and I think of reasons to be pissed off about men and misogyny.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with my day, Dad. But it's like this weird, and I feel like we were fed that narrative a lot about like our parents just don't understand. We have hormones.
It's still perpetuated too, because when I watch stuff now that's geared towards teens, and my whole hang up in that is, no, but we fixed that.
Yeah.
We as elder millennials who have children have fixed that. And then I go and spend time with my peers who have children and realize I fixed it and no one else did.
Everyone, it's like when I'm
like a
always
cycle you can't break. It's inevitable.
Yeah. It's like when I run into a person in my age bracket and they're a conservative and I'm like, why would you choose that?
How did that
happen? Out of everything we've lived through, the ocean is boiling and you just want to be in denial about that? Like,
right.
The orcas are mad.
They're mad, rightfully.
I watched Meg to the Trench over the weekend. I was on Meg's side. I was like, that shark was just underneath a part of the ozone of the ocean that we had not seen. The false bottom of the ocean. And he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to. He was in his own part of the ocean, and we fucked around, and we found out. And that's and that's the moral of Jurassic Park. That's the moral of Planet of the Apes. We fucked around, and we found out.
Yep.
But sure, be conservative, I guess.
I guess.
I don't get it. I also like, as you know, as a person who gets to live on the periphery of people who are parenting, but not actually have to actively parent, I'm constantly like, oh, you're really going to care about that. Okay. I would just let the kid play with the dice until he was ready to move on.
You know what's funny about that? When my son got like old enough to like explore on his own, but still like as a neighborhood child or whatever, and my parents would just be like whatever about it, and it was just like, you would never let us. Like the freedom this child has as a grandchild, we never ever. And my mom said to me, she goes, well, you get to a point where you realize your kids survived, and they probably would have survived had you not been that strict.
My parents never knew where I was. I've asked them, I was like, would you like to know the activities that I used to complete in the woods before I had a cell phone, and you did not know that I was in the woods?
Well,
and my mom would be like, no.
Don't misunderstand me. There was definitely a lot of like, yeah, we're going to the movies, Mom. And that's not where we were.
My parents never knew where I was.
But my son was like 8 or 9 when she told me that. And that like released me from this idea that I had to hold on to some sort of like perceived parenting style that we all have to do. And it was like, oh yeah, it's going to be fine. Trust your kid. And I tell him that all the time. I trust you. I do not trust the rest of the world. So like you could do all the things that you need to do to survive and come home safely and all that stuff. The rest of the world doesn't give a shit that somebody's at home caring, like worried about you and caring for you and, you know, praying to full moons for you. Like they don't give a shit that I gave up 20 years of my life to make sure that you grew up to be, a happy, healthy adult in college. Like, but you I trust. So like it has nothing, and I had to make that very clear to him. Has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that I know the world does not give a shit that you are loved.
Right. You hear that, everybody? The world does not give a shit that you are loved. The oceans are boiling. The orcas are mad. The otters are stealing surfboards. The end is nigh, is what I'm saying. It's still 90 degrees out, and I would like to know why.
The other part of it too, I know, because the earth is mad. The other part of it too is I always operated in the sense of like, I want you to want to come home to visit me.
Yeah.
I want you to want to be like, you know what? I haven't seen my mom in a while. Like, let me go visit. And I think watching Freaky Friday, you're like, Jamie Lee, do you even like your children?
Well, and does she have time to like her children?
Do you even like care that your daughter's hurting? You're a therapist. You should care.
Well, and again, I think that blends into the weird realm of Gen X boomer mothers who is like, I accidentally may have said out loud to my mother that she ruined her own life by having me. And then she had to explain to me that that is not how she felt.
Oh
But I
my
was like,
gosh.
yeah, I just tell people like, my mom was doing hot girl shit and then she had me too early in her marriage, ruined her life. And my mom's like, that, no. I was like, oh, is that that's how I perceived everyone felt. So, we worked through it. Like everything's fine.
At least it was out there.
But you and I talk a lot about how our mothers didn't actually have the choice to be anything but our mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in a home where my mother was constantly going through a career change to try and find what it is that she actually wanted to do with her life. And I do believe it's because she went to school not actually knowing what she wanted to do with her life because she was 18 and she had all of this like life before that was filled with trauma and feelings and growing up too soon and all of it. And I get that vibe from Jamie Lee Curtis where it's like, every once in a while, because, my grandpa died young.
Yeah.
My grandpa died young. And every once in a while, and I'm like, Grandma Peck probably loved Grandpa every moment of every day, except for that 1 hour of the day, maybe as she lay her down to sleep, where she went, fuck that fucker for dying on me. Because you never expect to actually be a widow. Divorcee,
right.
Maybe, but a widow?
And it changes the game a little bit too, because at least when you're divorced, you sort of share custody or there's some sort of splitting of the care in theory. Yeah. That's not always true.
You can text someone and be like, you're bastard children today.
And if you have, custody split 50-50, then you get respite, right? Someone taps in, someone else taps in. But you're right. When you are a widow, there is no respite. And even in 2003, because if you'll recall, I became a parent the following year, even in that era, it still was very hard for women to be successful as single women, as single mothers.
Well, and I can't, and again, I've known several widows, but I've only known one widow who then had to raise teenagers and young children after the widowing. And I can't imagine what it's like to have society tell you all the time that women are dramatic and they're emotional and they're crazy and they should be quiet and they should be pleasant and they should smile more. And then to have the person that you were going to build a life with die. And then you have to shut that part of your brain off because your kids are crying about it.
Right.
And then that feeling of like moving on and now your kids are crying about that. And there's just like, it's so much to hold on to and you're forced to hold on to it because you're the grown up in the room.
Yeah. And we're not allowed to have space to do grief or feel our emotions regardless.
Like, I'm reading that book when women were dragons.
Yeah.
And she literally talks about that, how, like, the first thing her mom ever taught her about being a woman socially, and this is a book that takes place in the 50s, but I'm pretty sure that we're still getting this lesson, is
Mhm.
she goes, "My mother taught me how to make the neutral, pleasant face. So even when I
Mhm.
was angry, even when I was sad, even when I was enraged, happy, any of it, to get through whatever moment I needed to get through so everyone around me was comfortable and we could all survive it.
Yeah.
She taught me how to just, like, soften my face, shut
Mhm.
off that part of my brain, do that little half smile, and then be like, 'Can I
Mhm.
please leave the room to go scream in my car?'"
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost as if they give us a manual
Yeah.
when we turn a certain age.
It reminds me a lot of that, like, meltdown that Drew Barrymore has at the end of Riding in Cars with Boys
Oh
because
my
that bastard
gosh.
kid of hers tries to tell her that she didn't do a good job, and
Mhm.
I'm always like, "Fuck that kid," and I'm
Mhm.
screaming with her. I'm like, "She should be screaming at you in the street." She wanted to be an author. She wanted to be an award-winning author, okay? She got knocked up by dum-dum Steve Zahn.
Yeah. Who's
We're
got a
lucky that
drug
he who
problem.
has a drug problem. We're lucky he didn't do it 2, 3, or 4 times because I've seen women go through that.
Yeah.
And then Brittany Murphy died. So
I
leave Drew
know.
Barrymore alone.
Yeah. 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 Okay, so that leads us to our final question.
Yeah, sure.
Are you still comfy
I
with
feel like that
Freaky
last
Friday?
yeah, feel like that little last tidbit about, like, the pleasantry of, like, sometimes things for women just have to be pleasant and that's all they get to be, that fits Freaky Friday. There
Okay.
wasn't, like, a lot of conflict, actually. They were just shrieking at each other, they were just having a bad day. And then there was also, like,
'Cause you had a bad day.
"Hey, nigga, one down." But there also wasn't, like, a grand coming together, like, they just decided, and yes, mom will marry this boring man, like, and he doesn't wanna be an evil stepfather. Honestly, his arc is probably the most interesting arc of the movie because it's like, I've been secretly hoping that Lindsay Lohan would love me, and you're trying to ruin it.
I actually really appreciated how into being a stepdad he was in like a very wholesome way
Yeah,
because it is really hard to find a partner who is okay with there being a child. Plus, for me, it was extra baggage because it's a whole lot of drama on that end, on that other side. And many of men have come and have decided that they, for whatever reason, didn't want to be a part and didn't want to be, witness to all that shit and didn't want to support me through having to deal with all of the shit. So seeing him kind of come in, and granted, again, she is a widow, but seeing him come in and just be like, I will be your support. Like, that's the fucking dream.
the fucking dream. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with the movie. Maybe take out the ancient Chinese magic with the fortune cookies. Maybe take out Chad Michael Murray wanting to make kissy kiss with Jamie Lee Curtis, but, like, good
So
on you,
awkward.
Jamie. You got to kiss the hottest heartthrob on the WB that year.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8 out of 10.
I'm still comfy with it as well because I feel like I do appreciate that it is a mother-daughter story versus some sort of like unhealthy rom-com for teens.
Yeah.
And we know I love rom-coms. But like it could have been the wrong kind of story.
Right,
And I
that
like
Robert Downey Jr. story that I'm telling you about. Is that Robert like, Jamie Lee Curtis could have had sex with Chad Michael Murray, and it would be like, "It's fine, though, because it's Anna." Like,
so awkward.
it's so awkward.
It makes me so uncomfortable. Like, just to think about how I would have to be, like, if I were the mom in Freaky Friday, because you know this, I do this regularly. I'll watch a movie and I'll be like, God, that boy is fine. And then I'll look him up and I'll be like, he was born in 1995. And I'm like, fuck me. I can't believe I just said that. Like,
Yeah.
or there was one
Cougar's too
recently.
gone.
I know there was one recently that I looked up, and he was born in like 2001, and I was like, I
You can't
am.
you can't
This
have
is
the hots for the boys
this
that have the
is.
20 in front of their year.
I was like, this is so uncomfortable. I don't think that you should be an actor. Because it plays into the whole like it's not his fault that he's cute and I
Yeah.
find him
He
cute,
should
and that's
quit his job because your horn dog self can't handle watching him on movies. You're like, quit your job. This is indecent.
but it's like I forget my age sometimes, and then when I look up ages and see how close in age they are to my child, it becomes this moment of want because I told you the other day, I probably could get away with saying I'm 10 years younger and people would probably believe it.
Yeah. We have great skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like when I told you the story last year when I moved my child into school, they asked which one of us was moving in.
I swear, if I got more sleep, I would look so youthful. My skin has held up. Thank
Yes.
you, Croatia.
Same. Yes, same. Thank you, Italians and
Croatian
black
Jesus.
people. Like
Thank you,
I've got the Mediterranean / melanin going on here. And like even when I look at my parents now, it's like I forget how old they are because their skin looks so amazing.
I'm telling you. I had a great aunt. She just died on the eve of 90. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
There's a cool 65 tops.
I have an uncle turning 80 next year, and I forget all the time because he doesn't look it.
Right. And I just like to live in delusion. No one tell me the actual number.
Yeah. All right, friend, tell everybody what you are up to this week with your shit.
With my shit?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Natalie Katona. I'm the host of To All the Men I've Tolerated Before. Next week, we will also be on YouTube, but on my YouTube channel doing Jurassic Park or Sleepless in Seattle. I've said both of the titles so often, I've forgotten which one it is.
I think we need to switch it because Jurassic Park, because I remembered when we were chatting why we doubled up, because you had more shows on your channel than I did on mine this last time.
There we go. There we go. There we go. We're going to do Jurassic Park. Everyone get hot and ready for Jeff Goldblum. Everyone get hot and ready for Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldie. I think, Jules, I think you're the guest on my show this week. I believe
I am. I saw the Patreon early episode drop, and I was like,
God, still comfy Tuesday, because Jules gets the episode early and then she reminds me which one's coming on Thursday.
Because I'm a member of her Patreon, and you should be too.
So Thursday, Jules and I will be talking about how women sometimes uphold misogyny and how it fucking lets us down. And we're going to be talking about women in our lives, our mothers, Britney Spears did nothing wrong. Lizzo.
Britney Spears has done nothing wrong.
Britney Spears did nothing wrong.
We touch on Lizzo.
Taylor Swift. And a little bit of Beyonce. For whatever reason, I was mad at Queen Bey that day.
I don't remember. We recorded
It's because I don't like Jay-Z.
Oh, that's right. We did
why do I have to continue to look at Jay-Z?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Jules, tell everyone. So that's me. Find me at Men I've Tolerated Pod on Instagram. I've started a blog. It ain't out yet, and newsletter shit.
Friends, hi, I'm Julia Washington, your host of Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous, where we analyze pop culture through the lens of race or gender, and sometimes both. This week on the show, we are doing our summer blockbuster movie wrap up with Movies with Mr. Mario. We get into the top 10 highest grossing films domestically. We talk about our summer favorites. We talk about what were the biggest surprises, and we talk about who we think has awards opportunities. Assuming the strike is over by then and we have an award season. It feels like the strike has been going on for a very long time.
Executives are evil.
We really need the executives to get off their $1 million of shit and share some of that profitability with the true people who are doing the actual work. Okay.
Everyone cuss out an executive today. That is your homework. Everyone, I don't care if they're a movie executive, just find an executive and cuss them out. And then go see Bottoms because
Oh,
that is
did
the
he come to
movie of
my
the
town? I'm
summer.
so upset.
And they won't
Stop
wide
rubbing it
release it.
in.
And they won't wide release it unless the people who are in the towns that they released it go and see it. So everyone rush to your nearest theater that's playing Bottoms and go see it.
Yes, please, because I need to see it. Oh, Mario showed up and I didn't even say
Mario!
hi. Mario, we're glad you're here. He is our guest this week. Like I said, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at the Julia Washington. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss a live show. Follow both of us on Instagram so you can always see the shenanigans we're up to. Also, if you join our Patreons, you get some really cool perks. But you have to follow us on Instagram to go to the Patreon to learn of those perks
You
because
gotta.
there's too many to list here.
There's
Because
too many.
we are offering so many amazing perks that we can't see. And Mario and I are not that far in distance, so this makes me very upset.
I can't help but that Dayton be cooler than California.
Truly, I'm like, come on, it looks so good.
It's a plot twist none of us saw coming.
And they had the audacity to show it as a trailer in like several movies I saw this summer.
It's the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Honestly, I'm just so jealous. I really want to see it.
Support your local lesbians and go see Bottoms.
I mean,
Cuss
that's
out an
the tag.
executive and then support your local lesbian.
Oh, Mario says supposedly releasing Wide in 2 weeks, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that that is true so we can cover it on Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous in appropriate time. Friends, we are so glad to be back from our summer hiatus. We've had such a fun summer and we have done so many things this summer that you all should be jealous about. And if you followed us in the internet grams, you would know. Can you tell us this is our first show back after like 3 months?
Well, I had to stare at Mario's comment for like a good 30 seconds before I was like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He was amazing. Put him in all the movies like we did. What's that wrestler? John Cena. Him and John Cena need to be in a movie together where they don't belong, but they do.
John Cena's in a new movie I saw a trailer for when I went and saw Gran Turismo, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I love John Cena. Everyone, cuss out an executive.
This is your homework
Support your local lesbians. And tell John Cena you love them. And stay cozy, stay comfy.
Until next time, friends.